Louisiana beer reviews. We're looking at Rogue Promise Gone Awry IPA. This is the first video review for this beer in the world. Might be the first written. I don't know. I haven't checked Rate Beer and Beer Advocate yet. This arrived earlier today. I've had it in the fridge and all that for over 3 hours, I guess. Maybe about 3 hours. The UPS usually delivers around 11. So I had the box and everything. And this beer was introduced, like, I guess today. Well, actually, when they shipped it out. Alright, so last week, you get these private messages on YouTube. And I often don't check them. I feel bad sometimes people will send me private messages and I see it's 3 or 4 days old. Because I don't get like an alert, like you have this many messages. It'll give you an alert on comments that you had. Or it'll give you alerts on Google messages, but not the messages on YouTube. So, but it was a guy, Andrew, from Rogue Brewing, and he was saying, hey, he said, oh, and they sent me this glass too. Thank you, Rogue. I never had a glass like this before. Or I should say, I've never owned one like this before. I've seen people with them on the internet. Whoa! If you are into foam, oh, and it's cascading, brothers and sisters. Look at that. It's like, woo! That is a beige head, and that is it's kind of like this IPA that I had from Florida, that I bought in Florida, that I know I got these Rogue bracelets on. The one from is called Circus City. Circus, not Circuit City. Circus City. That had this kind of amber appearance. I was describing it wrong on that video, which I'm going to post. I recorded before this, but I'm going to post after this. And you'll see I have the Mets shirts still on those other videos. Now I'm into the Saints. Football season, yes, arrived last 3 or 4 weeks ago. So, that's amber, man. That is dark. So Andrew contacted me. He's like, we like your reviews because you cover the spectrum. You give a fair shake to like the low end, something like Milwaukee's Best Ice or something like this. And I said, well, I appreciate that. And he said, well, if we send you this new beer that we're coming out with, Promise Gone Awry, would you do a video review? I said, well, sure, of course I would. And it got delayed a little bit, but then it did arrive today. And he said, would you like to go to these events? Rogue Nation New Orleans tour, Rogue Nation tour New Orleans, Rogue Nation tour Baton Rouge. Unfortunately, I had an examination plan for Rockdale Light of all things for that Wednesday night, so I had to skip it. I mean, you say you're going to skip that for a Rockdale Light. Well, I had already promised my examination friends that we would do the hangout, and they bought the beer, and I'm not just going to stiff people because I can go get some free hangout. And this other guy, David, he was like, they'll understand. Let's go. I'll go with you. I'm sure a lot of people would like to go because, it's fun to do these things, especially when it's free. I can understand that. Then the one in Baton Rouge, I'd already promised I was going to go out to eat with some people, my restaurant review group. We went to G. Orlando's, and it's very difficult to plan these once a month, so I wasn't backing out of that. Then I was invited to go to a Rogue Nation tailgate party in Baton Rouge at the Louisiana State University campus when they were hosting Mississippi State last week, Saturday. And I couldn't go to that because I'd already bought the Tulane season ticket package, and I was going to the Navy at Tulane game. And now some people are going to roll their eyes and say, wait a minute, you're going to skip the LSU Mississippi State game to go watch Navy at Tulane? Yes, because I had season tickets. You're going to skip a hours long tailgate party? Oh, I guess I'm a weirdo. But he told me today, well, it says it in this package, we're going to invite you to some other stuff coming up. So this head of foam is retaining like a, man, this thing is retaining like a head of foam that's retaining. It's a beautiful looking beer. Hey Ronald. Some say Jay, some say Ronald. Newport, Oregon. This is from September 13th. See, that's how long, and now we're on the 20th. So, it's, well, okay, a week ago. That's not that long ago. Hope you enjoy Promise Gone Awry IPA. Figured you might dig an appropriate Rogue drinking vessel for it as well. I do. Enjoy. I will, I think. Sorry we'll be missing you in Baton Rouge and New Orleans, Louisiana, but we'll have to buy you a beer the next time we're in your area. Thank you. Cheers, Andrew. P.S. I took the liberty of making you a Rogue Nation ID card. Welcome to the Rogue Revolution! Okay. And here is a sales sheet. And it's interesting that they contacted me because I've done previous videos for Rogue, some Rogue beers, and I wasn't so glowing about it, and I was critical, with some of them. And I even said that my favorite Rogue beer was the Dead Guy Ale, which is sort of like their flagship, or regular old beer. Well, I think it's a great one. John Meyer, the brewmaster. He broke his promise to brew this beer as a one-time holiday gift for employees because it was too good not to share. That's like the Holloman Special Export. That was one of those specialty holiday for employees beers. Starts with a subtle kick of rye up front, delivers a full malt body to the palate with plenty of Rogue Farms hops on the finish. I have to read off this because I don't have an ingredients list. Available in draft on 22-ounce serigraphed bottles. Guess it's on the website now. Well, we have the sheet right here. 7.5% alcohol. Good. 70 IBU, just like Stone IPA. Good. Rogue established 1988 when I was in college, working at Taco Bell. That was an interesting job. It's just a college job, but I was very interested working for that company. Interesting ways they ran their business, at least then, when I worked there, 88 to 91. Rogue Promise Gone Rye, dedicated to farmers and fermenters. A little kind of dark sales sheet, but cool. 100% pure Rogue. And some stuff you can buy. Okay, here's the ingredients now. 2-row Munich Rogue Farms Dream Rye, 40 C75 and C120 malts. There's your malt lineup. Rogue Farms Liberty hops, Centennial and Simcoe hops. Free range coastal water. Okay, free range water. And Pacman yeast. Alright. Serving suggestions. A cow head and fire. I guess like with barbecue beef or something. Okay, and there's the little envelope. What's in this envelope? I just see this. I've just seen this here. Oh, I'm a Rogue citizen. Hey, you stole my picture off the internet. There's me with Cincinnati Reds cap on, of all things. I have been to that ballpark twice. And there's my Rogue Nation. Oh, that's his. He says, Andrew Cockburn, beer whisperer. You're the beer whisperer? You sure? That's what it says on the card. Okay, Rogue Nation, Dare, Risk, and Dream. 2 bumper stickers. If I can reach for it. Rogue Farms, Grow the Revolution. To help grow their profits, of course. And then I'm like, what is this? And then I see condoms. I'm going to save those for when the Rogue executives go to New York City and visit bathhouses after cruising the disco, okay? What am I going to do with this? Then you might say they're trying to be edgy, like when they put the hammer and sickle on their Rogue Russian Imperial Stout. Okay, edgy. I can be edgy. I got something in this box that's a lot edgier than anything Rogue would want to show in any of their videos or on their website. I won't take it out of the box, but believe me, you want edgy, I can give you edgy. Like really edgy. But we'll just let that slide. It's mellow. I mean, It's rye, like you have a Reuben sandwich, the rye bread or rye. Like, you know, the rye is that spicy type aroma. I like it. Some people tell me, oh, I hate rye, I hate rye. I said, well, you would hate a rye IPA, I can assure you. I can pre-assure you. Because it's kind of a thing that you might not care for, I guess. Spicy rye, but then you get your underlying sweet, pale malts, not so pale, huh? And breadiness, sweet white bread. Hop oils. Not too piney, not too fruity, just sort of like hop resin. And then somebody told me, that's not a good description of hop resin. Okay, I've said it before, I'm not good at describing these beers, okay? I just think of things and I don't want to just come up with stuff. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm not that good at coming up with descriptors. Well, caramel, malt, like caramel type thing. The white bread crust more than the white bread center. Little sweetness, the rye. It's bitter. I know Stone IPA 70. It's bitter, but it's not super bitter. It's not, oh, it's so bitter. Can't believe it. I love the lacing. No, but it's like, oh, it's so bitter that I'm satisfied with it. It's like appropriate bitterness. And I know their Brutal IPA, which I think was being it was like, they were being silly about it. It was obviously not brutal. Yeah, 7.5% alcohol. You might say, is it better than the Dead Guy now? I'm not gonna say that. I don't think it's different. They're different. They're not the same. They're different. I still love that Dead Guy Ale. But for what it is, a rye IPA, it is very good. The body is medium. It's like 3/4 medium, you know what I mean? It's certainly not heavy body, but it's like a high medium, something, how you say that? It's a little slickness to it. I mean, you know this is fresh, right? Oh, it's so nice to have these fresh IPAs. A pretty dry finish. Not really so puckering though, not so puckering. Just dry, kind of oily on your mouth, sticky. Boy, I bet if you got this on your hands would be so sticky. I made a mistake of spilling some Pabst Old Tankard Ale on my keyboard. It was really sticky. It's still not like it should be. I've cleaned it up as best I could, I think. Yeah, if you're into big time resins, I think you really like this beer. I really like this. I don't know what the cost would be. I'm sure it isn't going to be exactly cheap. But if you want to fly first class, you can't pay coach prices. You say, but in your case, you didn't pay for it at all. Well, that's true. So, what I paid the $8.99 or whatever about, I don't know. I don't usually really do that anymore, honestly. But occasionally I'll grab one of them. I mean, there's just so many beers I can try that are $1.50, $1.59, $2, $2.25. I'll just keep grabbing those. But that's no indication that the other ones aren't, super deluxe. It might just be an indication that I'm being a cheapskate on that. But I pay a lot of money for tickets and driving to Key West and going to New York, and my whole life is not dedicated toward buying beer, I have to tell you. It's fun to review them though, and I appreciate the company sending me the beer. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this. Well, certainly there's no negatives with it at all. If there's negatives, I would love to know what they are. I've had other rye IPAs, and this is right in the mix with them. Yeah, it's a solid A beer. It's a most excellent product. If you want to buy a most excellent A, it's an A beer. This is one to get. I'm going to sit down and write the written review. and we'll see if there's any on there yet. Sometimes I do these early beers and they don't even have a page for it on a Rate Beer Advocate, no page for it. So highly recommended. You probably be looking at about $7.99, $8.99, $9.99 a bottle. I'm figuring probably maybe more like like $7.99 a bottle, I guess. I would presume. So Les Bon Ton Relais, very flavorsome and enjoyable product. And I'm going to end this review by saying y'all come on down to New Orleans.